Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. And just like that, Alexa Bliss is inserted into the Women's Elimination Chamber this Saturday. And I can't wait. I'm absolutely pumped, hyped for it. Alexa Bliss has been much missed in the women's division. Like this video if you agree. And she deserves to be pushed to the moon after her recent performances. She really is missed and I can't wait to see her hopefully end up in the main event title scene once more. But after all, this is WWE, so the only thing I'm going to say is don't get your hopes up too much in terms of Alexa Bliss winning the Elimination Chamber. I hope, if I had my way, she would win. But if I'd also had my way, I'd have had Alexa Bliss win the Royal Rumble, challenge Charlotte Flair, and have Ronda Rousey return at, say, the Elimination Chamber and take on Becky Lynch. But we can't have it our own way. And clearly WWE have other plans for Alexa Bliss, but let's hope they're good ones. Now, I'm very quickly just going to get to the point and summarise what I make of the therapy sessions and Alexa Bliss and her gimmick moving forward. The way I read it, I think that Newton's Cradle was the key to all this. I really do. Because if you notice at the start of the Alexa Bliss therapy sessions, Newton's Cradle never stops. Obviously, the energy continues back and forth. And at that point, in Alexa Bliss's head, Lily was very much alive. We don't know whether it's the spirit still lingering around or whatever's going on in Alexa Bliss's head, whatever craziness she's thinking up, she couldn't accept the fact that Lily was gone. And then through the weeks, we've seen this gradual transition in getting Alexa Bliss back to what was originally her former self. And if we look at this final session, and we look at the very end of the final session, before the Newton's Cradle is completely still, okay? And I think that's a reference to, at that point, Lily is completely out of Alexa's head. She is cured 100%. She, or as the doctor said, as cured as she's ever going to be, insinuating she's never going to be 100% cured. It doesn't even refer to Lily, like Lily's gone. She even says it, Lily's gone. And then the doc, who again we don't trust 100%, dressed all in black, never trust him dressed all in black, basically has the remains, the internal remains of the Lily doll, the previous Lily doll, puts it right in front of Alexa Bliss, and then stuffs a new doll with the internal remains of Lily. Seemingly the spirit still remains in Lily in a new form. And Alexa still is denying that until the very end. But then she goes, touches it again. Newton's Cradle starts all over again. She states, I've always wanted to do that. The doctor goes, I get it. That doctor is sneaky as heck. That therapist cannot be trusted. I don't trust him. I really don't. And I think that's a reference to, right at that point there, Alexa Bliss is just snapped back, even temporarily, to thinking about Lily. And even referencing Lily later on in the video, which we're going to cover in a bit. And I think, again, that energy, it still lives, Lily still lives, the spirit of Lily still goes on. But that doesn't mean that WWE are going to revert back to playground Alexa Bliss. There's definitely going to be a twist. And what I make, and the conclusion of all this, is Alexa Bliss is going to have a split personality. I did hazard a guess, and in videos did predict this could be the case, where you've got almost a goddess type version of Alexa Bliss, but in her mind, she has these dark thoughts. And I don't mean it's actually going to be a physical two sides of Alexa Bliss. I think it's just genuinely a mental split personality. And Lily, the doc says Lily's got to be by her side at all times for her to be powerful. Is he referencing for her to be in the main event title scene, for example? And it is a really interesting dynamic because we're going to see an evolution of Alexa Bliss as a character. And I think this is perfect because we're going to see both dynamics of Alexa Bliss that work really well. The goddess type version of Alexa Bliss, visually, beautiful, powerful, dominant, great in the ring, or can certainly handle herself in the ring anyway. And then you still get elements of the supernatural, not quite as extreme as what we've seen in the past and not an actual playground version of Alexa, but still having those dark thoughts influenced by Lily. And we can still see the influence of Lily in Alexa Bliss even at the end of these therapy sessions, just as she's about to get up and shake the hand of the doc. The doc is also about to get up and she's like, no, pretty much you sit down, and that felt like that was a control from Lilly. It was a dominance thing. And what we see at the very, very end, after, again, she clicks that Newton's cradle, the energy, still very much alive and kicking. And then it's, we're back. She even references Lilly. Refers to her as Lilly. Straight away, and you're like, oh no, these therapy sessions are a waste of time because you haven't completely rid Lilly from your imagination. And she goes, oh, apparently we're cured. Sarcastically, like, is she 100% cured? We know, we can pretty much guess that she's not, and there's going to be this split in Alexa Bliss, which is great. It's a new dynamic. And also what you notice as well, it's a really cool way graphically to enter Alexa Bliss into the chamber as well. I absolutely loved it. Kudos to WWE for that. And the Evil Is Mine theme played as well. And there was this flashback to the dark versions of Alexa Bliss that we've seen in the past, like the WrestleMania version of Alexa Bliss, whatever that was, Sister Abigail, or whatever the heck it was freaky and not to be messed with. I also like graphically how on either ends of the graphic they had Alexa and also Liv Morgan. That visually looked quite good, and also could that be a sign of things in the future? Now, if WWE don't push Alexa in the main event title picture, and they don't do the same with Liv Morgan, there's a potential to have those two as a tag team. Yes, it's not your first round pick, and yes, you want to see them both in the singles main event picture, but there is a possibility, and you can be sure for 100% certainty that they're going to be popular and massively over. It's kind of cool, crazed tag team as well down the line. So there's all options in the future to look at also as well. Now, in terms of Alexa Bliss winning the Elimination Chamber, do I think she's going to win it? I actually don't think she's going to win it. I think she should win it, but I'm not booking WWE. I'm not always right. What do you think? What would be your booking scenario? But in terms of her winning it, in theory, WWE have backed themselves into a little bit of a corner, because coming back to keep her strong and to keep the interested Alexa Bliss up in the main event title scene, you'd book her to win. But that also means she's going to face Becky. Now, that can go back to 2016, 2017, where they did have a sort of mini rivalry. But in recent times, it screams out Bianca Belair, doesn't it? And it kind of makes sense to have those two, Bianca Belair and Becky, big time Becky Lynch, for those two to fight each other, which would mean Bianca winning the Elimination Chamber. So how are you going to get around Alexa Bliss still looking strong and being built with a direction moving forward into WrestleMania with her losing? And that's going to be tricky if she loses. I mean, she could go and win and we'll all be happy, and myself included, that'd be fantastic. But this is WWE, remember, and I am a little bit worried about the booking going into the Elimination Chamber. But it remains to be seen. This Elimination Chamber, I'm actually really excited for this event. I think it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see what unfolds, and be really interested to hear your thoughts and opinions on the whole Alexa Bliss situation. I'm not always right. I have a habit of just waffling on absolute nonsense most of the time, but I go with my heart and my gut instinct and what I feel, and I just don't feel she's going to win the Elimination Chamber. Although whatever happens, it's going to be freaky and it's going to be a strong performance. If she loses, are we going to see the darker side of her split personality? Probably. We'll see her go on a rampage for the next few Raws leading up to WrestleMania. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate those that watch it all the way through and like the video, share the video as well. It'd be really awesome if you could subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn the icon on for notifications as well. Really helps the channel, and we'll see you in another video. Stay safe